Okay, hashtag wow, hashtag now. And I got done watching, finally saw this movie, Weapons. Now, how could I describe it? It's kind of hard to describe it because I try to keep it spoiler free as possible, but it's a little hard to. The movie it has there's a simple story, but it gets kind of complicated. So, unfortunately, I feel like I'm going to end this review as soon as it started. So, here goes. Now, the movie is called Weapons for, well, let's just say it's more you think about it. Oh, okay, I see why. I mean, in case you get the point, they literally show the time the kids ran out at 2:17 in the morning with a gun, a AK-47. I'm assuming that's what it is. So the idea here is that everything's been weaponized. The idea of people's fears, people's paranoia. The idea of the movie, it starts out, it's exactly what the trailer says. At 2:17 in the morning, kids just ran off in the middle of the night, and they were never seen again, with the exception of one kid. And the idea is, okay, who's who, what's going on, who did what, who didn't. And the idea is that some of them are trying to solve the mystery, some are just out there for themselves. You get the idea that everybody wanted a simple answer for a complicated problem. In this case, they wanted to blame the teacher, which, I'm sorry, I find is really a problem with movies. I'm sure I'm not the only one. They always show people with either really nice apartments or really nice houses. For a teacher, she must be have a really good salary. She has a really nice house, and I'm work 6 days a week, and I get a and donate plasma, and I live in a small apartment. I mean, I'm not saying the apartment doesn't suit my needs, but wow, I can't afford a house when I work technically 4 jobs. At any rate, when it comes down to it, the story goes like this. Well, stories, because you have the same story, but just told from different characters' points of view. The idea here is trying to get a different perspective from the same story, and it actually is kind of interesting thing. Now, again, I know people might either find this irritating or say, "Well, we need a." That's kind of the point. It doesn't really give. I don't feel like it gives enough answers. I mean, you kind of get sort of the idea of what's going on, and maybe that's the point. You're only supposed to get sort of the idea of what's going on. The ending is, I would call it bittersweet. Might be called bittersweet, but more like closure. You still have questions. I mean, more. The ending's not more of like a happy ending. It's more of a let's find. It ended. Like Marge Simpson says. The son of Simpson, is this a good ending? Is it a bad ending? Marge says, it's an ending. Let's leave it at that. And that's kind of what it is. You get ideas about characters you think you know who they are. Because I mentioned this before with I Have No Mouth, I Must Scream. We know more about the characters. You know who they are. Some of them actually know who they are, and some aren't. You got yourself a father who's angry at this one teacher. You assume he's just a hothead, but no, he's actually trying to solve a mystery. He's the one that goes to cameras and tries to see where the kids are, where are they running off to. Get a good idea from the camera, the doorbell cameras, and get a good idea of where exactly are these kids running towards. You get the mother, or not the mother, the teacher, again, who's to make it clear she's an alcoholic. She's there trying to figure things out for herself. Eventually, these two try to combine their forces or ideas, or whatever you want to call it, and try to track down. Well, eventually, of course, yeah, it's just one house. I mean, that's. I guess not really a big mystery when you really put some thought into it. You realize, yeah, well, it's this house. It's obviously the key to everything. And you meet a woman who comes off as strange. Again, I'm not sure it's supposed to be funny or what, but it's hard to tell what I'm supposed to laugh at and not laugh at. We meet this elderly lady who, yeah, when you first see her, she wears way too much makeup. And again, you don't understand why. And again, sorry for the spoilers, but you realize she's been dying all these years because, frankly, she needs. Okay, again, they don't really explain it, but they need kids to rejuvenate her energy. But again, it all has to do with this one witch. To like, hypnotize people to do what she wants. And again, that's where the ending comes in. Yeah, you had this one scene. I gotta admit, I was laughing towards the end. At the end, I was laughing at this one scene. Where eventually, the boy that goes to school, he's one of the kids that wasn't hypnotized, and he kind of figures out he has to live with this witch, and he realizes how to do some of her magic, and he ends up having all the kids just run at her, and it's like this heat-seeking missile, as they describe it, and just rip her apart. An interesting thing about her, again, you see her, the first time you see her, not the first time you see her in a movie, but the first time she's supposed to appear, she's actually a lot cleaner and stuff. It's only towards the end you really see that she's falling apart, and she really has to cover a lot of makeup to cover up. And it must be pretty awful if the makeup looks ridiculously clownish. Let me put it that way. In the end, you deal with a crack dealer, not crack dealer, crack user, and he's the one that ends up like finding the kids. Again, there's some funny moments, and I don't know if again am I supposed to laugh at some of these funny moments or not, but all in all, it actually is a very good movie. A movie, again, like I said, told the same story from different angles, and it does keep you intrigued. I think you watch it twice to see if you miss any clues. Because that's pretty much what really sucks you in. It's kind of a murder mystery. Who done it? Who you can trust? What's going on? Again, it doesn't give you all the answers, but again, maybe that's the point. But what do you think? Is there points to do? Because I laughed at that one scene where the kids just ran. I mean, it's funny as hell. I just laughed. The audience in the theater, they all laughed. It was a big theater, unfortunately. I kind of went there kind of later, so it'll probably be better if I saw it with a bigger crowd. But at any rate, yeah, we're all laughed at this one scene where the kids are just running after the witch. I mean, they were crashing through plate glass doors. I'm sorry. They were just throwing out, jumping over fences. I mean, it was hilarious, especially with the part where not all of it was from the audience point of view. Some of it was from like the people's point of view. Like you see the people staring at this one area. You see this one lady running, and then later you see all these kids screaming, "Ah!" as they ran by. Woo. Again, like I said, the spell was sort of broken, but not really. Because again, some of the kids started speaking again. We never forgot what happened to the parents. I mean, I guess they never got out of it. But at any rate, yeah, the kid goes back to an aunt. So again, it's not what I call a happy ending. It's just an ending. And you find out each characters are actually... It's interesting to find that each character could hold their own story. I do find that very important. That they're not just there. But again, what do you think about this movie? Did you see it more than once? Was this more than one scene you laughed and not questioned, should I have laughed at that scene? What do you thought of the ending? Do you believe that you wanted a little bit more answers? Because I thought I wanted a little bit more answers. Or you figured, no, that's not the point. Again, are you thinking that finally storytelling is coming back with characters are allowed to be characters and stories are allowed to story? Again, write a comment below. Let's get me to 1,000 subscribers. And shame on the two of you that's unsubscribed to my channel. Shame. At any rate, I hope your day sucks a little less. See you in the next video.